לזמן הזה שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה 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 לזמן הזה.
My dear parents, esteemed father-in-law, fellow rabbis, honored dignitaries, Mr. Litzman, supporters of Chabad and friends. She'achiyanu v'kiyimanu v'higiyanu lizman hazeh. We thank you, we thank God who brought us to this great milestone. 8 years ago, my wife and I were privileged to become shluchim emissaries of the Lubavitcher Rebbe to move here to the wonderful city of Cape Coral. As emissaries, we know what the mission is: to help bring Judaism, awareness of godliness, to this part of the world. We also know that with the Rebbe's blessing, we will succeed in this mission. But we did not know how, where, and with whom. Permit me a few brief flashbacks. When we just arrived to this city, we went shopping in Walmart for a few things that we needed. We were greeted with a combination of shock, excitement, and uncertainty. So people looked at us and said, Chabad? To which we said yes. They said, wow, Chabad came to Cape Coral. We were waiting 15 years for Chabad to come. And then they continued and said, Rabbi, Cape Coral? Do you think you'll really find Jews here? And yes, we found Jews. And yes, we continue to find Jews. And together, we would find all the Jews, and we will continue, and together to the ultimate redemption of Mashiach with the mission of Am Yisrael Chai. From the humble beginning, from our living room to a rented place, and today proudly we celebrate the opening of your very own center. The center that will continue to serve, a center in which we can expand and grow and service more and more Jews, a center that is not only a synagogue or a camp or a Hebrew school or a location for classes and lectures, but a home to so many. Indeed, we found the precious jewels. Each one of you is a diamond. We are committed to bringing out the spark and the shine that is in each person possesses. We will never be able to do it alone. It is thanks to so many that we can celebrate here today. And many of you, over the course of the 8 years, has helped us build this community, and those that have moved on to other places of the state or of the country, of the world. To quote the communists, all are equal, but some are slightly more equal. I would be remiss if I would not mention some of you who have been instrumental in making this dream a reality. But I must beg forgiveness if I fail to mention some who deserve mentioning. I would like to thank Mr. Moshe Tavetzinik, a major benefactor, and Rabbi Moshe Kotlarski from the Vice Chairman of Merkez Liyanei Chinuch, for the great help and support in making this center a reality. I would also like to thank those who helped us, Mr. Edward Schiff, Mr. Hal Arkin, Mr. Kim Levy, Mr. Bob Lipschitz, Mr. Dov Langer, Mr. David Hemed, Mr. Ilan Kedem, Mr. John Eng, for the unwavering commitment and help in seeing through this project. I would like to thank all our contributors for this center. But more than anyone, I would need to thank the Rebbe, whose shluchim we are, who gave us and continuously gives us the blessings for success of all our projects. How appropriate that is that we celebrate today the grand opening of our new center that we just read this past week, this past Shabbos. The portion of the week talks about how the Jews came out of Egypt and they were wandering in the desert, and God told them to build a temple, a temporary tabernacle. And they dedicated the tabernacle in this week's Torah portion. And today we dedicate our temple. And we pray to God that this new temple should be reunited. And like the sages tell us, that when the temple is built in Jerusalem, rebuilt in Jerusalem, all the temples and all the Torah centers, house of Torah would be connected to with the temple in Jerusalem with the coming of Mashiach speedily. At this moment, we are now coming to the long-awaited moment of our official grand opening of our doors, of the new center. It gives me great pleasure to call upon the following individuals to come and cut the ribbon. My dear parents, Rabbi and Mrs. Lapkowski, my father-in-law, Rabbi Zusha Silverstein, Mr. Ilan Kedem, a steadfast supporter and friend for all of us, Mr. Moshe Tabak, who was with us since the first Shabbos we opened up our doors, Mr. Michael and Gail Richter, and Mr. Litzman. As soon as we're done with the cutting the ribbon, we will be affixing the mezuzah on the door. Then we will be all moving inside because it's hot outside, and we will continue the program inside.
Mazel tov.
Yeilanu, Yeilanu, lechol Israel. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, lechol Israel. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, lechol Israel. Yeilanu, Yeilanu, lechol Israel. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Yeilanu, 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 lechol ישראל, יהיה לנו לכל ישראל, יהיה מלך ישראל, חי וקיים, דוד מלך ישראל, חי וקיים.
The mezuzah. The mezuzah contains the name of God, Shin Dalet Yud, which represents Shemer Dalsis Yisrael, God who secures the doors of Israel. Shmira, security, is something we all need, and at this appropriate moment, we would like to especially make a prayer for the security of our great nation, the United States of America, the land of freedom, and a special prayer for our brethren in Israel, in the land of Israel. I would ask my father, my mentor, Rabbi Lapkowski, the Dean of Central Lubavitcher Yeshiva, to place the mezuzah on the main entry of our new center. And now we would ask everybody to move inside, and we will continue the program inside.
It gives me great pleasure this afternoon to welcome the brother of Rabbi Lapkowski, Rabbi David Lapkowski, from the representative of the Chabad of Oakland. He came all the way in from California this afternoon to be with us, and he's going to read a letter from the governor of Florida, Governor Rick Scott. Rabbi Lapkowski.
Great Seal of the State of Florida, Rick Scott, Governor, June 3rd, 2012. This was just sent today. Dear friends, congratulations. It is a pleasure to send my best wishes to you on the grand opening of the Chabad Jewish Center of Cape Coral. The Chabad Jewish Center of Cape Coral is an inspired, connected Jewish community defined by core Jewish values, flourishing gateway institutions, broad-based participation, lifelong learning, as well as a steadfast safety net of services. Forwarding thinking members of the Cape Coral community led your organization to become one of the leading centers for Jewish education, leadership, and community in South Florida. Thank you for your commitment to service. Best wishes for a successful event. Sincerely, Rick Scott, Governor.
Thank you, Rabbi Lapkowski. Sages teach us in the ethics of the fathers, pray for the well-being of the government. So it's indeed an honor to have with us representatives of different government offices who will bring us their greetings. Please welcome Cape Coral's Mayor, Mayor Sullivan.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here today to help celebrate the opening of the new Chabad Jewish Center. This is truly a special occasion. This new facility is an asset not only to the Jewish community, but the entire city of Cape Coral. I'm thrilled that Chabad chose Cape Coral for their new facility. Their prominence in the community is significant because the contributions to the community are extremely important. Rabbis, I wish your organization nothing but good wishes for success in your endeavors. I thank you for your support.
Thank you, Mayor Sullivan. And now we'd like to call from the Sheriff's Office this afternoon, Sheriff Mike Scott.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone in the Sheriff's Office, I congratulate you on this beautiful center, and to Rivka and, of course, Rabbi Yossi, appreciate the friendship, not only with what you're doing here as a community of Jewish faith, but also want to share with the group that the Sheriff's Office values our chaplain corps. We have a cadre of chaplains from a variety of different denominations that help us at different times, different ceremonies that we have, sometimes of need, sometimes of celebration. I'd like you to know, if you don't already know, that Rabbi Yossi Aladovich is one of our chaplains, and we're very honored to have you as part of that chaplain corps. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff Scott. It's now my honor to welcome State Representative Gary Babashan.
Thank you. It's been an honor to have been your state representative for Cape Coral for the last 6 years. When I came to Cape Coral back in the 1980s, I lived just 3 blocks from here, and the only commercial building was the Circle K store at the corner of Chiquita and Cape Coral Parkway. And now it's bloomed into one of the jewels of Southwest Florida, Southwest Cape Coral. So I commend you in your choice of locations. It's a great spot. Cape Coral, I say, is the smallest large town you'll ever live in. It really is. It's a community more than it is a city. And so to the Chabad Jewish Center, I say welcome to the community of Cape Coral. Welcome to Southwest Florida. God bless you.
Thank you, Representative Babashan. Now I'd like to call on Representative Kriegel, to have a few words for us.
Thank you, and I'll keep this under an hour. Good afternoon, thanks for having me. I'm Paige Kriegel. I'm a state legislator representing Northern Lee County, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties for the last 8 years. And I'm running for Congress in the newly open seat here. That's all I'm going to say that's even remotely political. This day is yours. It's truly an honor to be invited here today. As I tour this new community center, I'm struck by the simplicity and the beauty. There's immeasurable value in the ability of a family to get together for activities that have a religious backdrop, beyond going to synagogue or church. Families that can get together with friends at centers like this share a common bond, placing a high value on religion. It's great to see so many families turned out here today and feel the same way. It's also notable that this center was conceived, designed, and built during these miserable economic times. It's not that money is just tight, it's almost non-existent. Every business sector is affected, and many families are struggling just to keep their heads above water, and yet this community, this congregation was able to make the shared sacrifices necessary to make this dream a reality. That is so admirable. That incredibly strong spirit of family and community is what has sustained Jewish people through tough times, even terrible times, over uncountable centuries. I feel certain that God is smiling on his people today. Let's enjoy this day. Thank you for being here, and thank you for letting the nice Catholic boys share this day with me. Shalom.
Thank you, Representative Kriegel. This new center is all about community building. How fitting it is to hear a few words from Ms. Moulton of the Criminal Conflict and Civil Regional Council for the 2nd District, to speak on behalf of the community.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for coming out here today. I was introduced to Chabad by my grandfather. He was very close to Chabad in Russia and in New York as well. When I first came to Florida about 10 years ago, I was very nervous that there would not be a Chabad that I could be close to. For me, Chabad has always represented what it means to be a family and a community. And I want to thank Rabbi Yossi and Rivki for putting this together and for opening this Chabad, because this helps families stay together. And I come here often, and I know a lot of other families too as well. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moulton. Now please give our attention to Dr. Irit Dahan, a proud mother of Adam and Gabriel, students of the Elite School.
To tell you a little bit about myself, I was born in Israel and moved to New York at the age of 2. My family eventually moved to the Cape Coral area when I was 10 years old. Other than my 2 older brothers, I knew of no other Jews during my high school years. There was really no Jewish community at the time, nor any understanding of what a Jew was. I subsequently moved away, seeking higher education, and eventually moved back to the area. I was quite skeptical of what kind of Jewish community would be in place, given that I was moving back from Los Angeles, which is well known for its Jewish population. Ironically, however, I met my Israeli husband, Elon, in Cape Coral while on vacation, and we have since had 2 boys. Individually, we're very different, but our culture and religion definitely keep us grounded. Our first son, Adam, had his bris in Fort Myers. There was no Chabad of Cape Coral at that time. My, how things have changed. With our second son, Gabriel, the Jewish community managed enough to expand to welcome Rabbi Yossi and his lovely and dedicated wife, Rivki. They oversaw Gabriel's bris and have since been a very important part of our lives. Our children have subsequently started Hebrew school in Cape Coral, even though we actually live in Fort Myers Beach. We chose to bring them to Cape Coral because the rabbi and Rivki have been so accommodating to our family and extended family. We truly feel a sense of commitment with the Chabad in Cape Coral in assisting us with the upbringing of our children. To the credit of the rabbi and Rivki, our children have never once asked to not go to Hebrew school. In fact, they've been quite disappointed at times to find out that school was not in session on that particular day. The rabbi and Rivki have created a warm and thoughtful environment that is welcoming to all our families. They have never been judgmental towards anyone and appreciate all of us for simply participating in any events that we can. They have dedicated their lives to maintaining the Jewish faith and traditions in these difficult modern times. They have been with us in times of great joy, and they've also been with us in times of sadness. They have made us even more proud to be a Jew. We are honored that they are helping our children have a sense of identity, pride, and belonging. We started with them when their synagogue was their home, and they were starting their own beautiful family. They eventually expanded into a rental space, temporarily, of course. Today, they continue their journey in a very well-deserved permanent residence here. We're so happy to be a part of this special moment with them. We look forward to our children growing up alongside their tutelage. We have tremendous respect for who they are as a young family and who they are as representatives of our religion locally. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Rivki. It has been an honor and pleasure to know you. We thank you for bringing Judaism back into our lives in such a positive manner. Congratulations on the grand opening of the new Chabad Center in Cape Coral. Mazel tov.
Thank you, Irit. As the saying goes, behind every woman there's a man. I'm proud to introduce to you a great woman to whom I've been privileged to share my life. To most of you, Rivki doesn't need an introduction, because she is known for her teaching, her friend, as an advisor, a chef, administrator of all Chabad activities, mother of our children, the person whom without her there will be no activities here in Cape Coral. Rivki.
Thank you. Coming from the holiday of Shavuos, we remind ourselves that prior to God giving the Torah, he asked, who will guarantee that the Torah will be kept? God did not accept the guarantees of the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, nor Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah, nor did he accept the prophets or the holy leaders. So who did God accept as guarantors for the Torah? The children. When the mothers lifted their infants and proclaimed, Banenu arevim ba'adenu, our children will guarantee for us, God then proceeded with the giving of the 10 Commandments. It is our children who will be our future, and it is for them that we must toil now. Indeed, we are proud of our students of our Hebrew school, the children of our summer and winter day camps. We enjoy the lively background noise of the children during the Shabbat and holiday services. For let's remember, a synagogue that has no children's noise has no future. Life is filled with challenges and often tragedies. Today, in Brooklyn, New York, the unveiling of little Leiby Kletzky is taking place. Leiby was a sweet, innocent 8-year-old boy who tragically lost his life in the hands of a barbaric murderer. His death has touched the hearts of the entire Jewish community worldwide. We are privileged to dedicate today the Leiby Kletzky Children's Room through the generosity of Mr. Richard Lipsman and the estate of Wallace Katz. Leiby's legacy will continue to live on through the many mitzvahs and good deeds we will perform in the Leiby Kletzky Children's Room. We are also launching the Leiby Kletzky Safety Society. This program will teach our children safety and security measures. The Rebbe teaches that we must change tears into growth and fight darkness with light. We express our gratitude to Mr. Michael and Gail Richter, who are a symbol of light. And it is indeed an honor and privilege to be able to personally thank Mr. Lipsman, for who, in addition to donating the funds for the Leiby Kletzky Children's Room, made the effort to be present at today's dedication. Thank you for being here. I would like to call upon you, Mr. Lipsman, to please come to the podium and accept our token of appreciation. Presented to Mr. Richard Lipsman with gratitude for your devotion to children's safety and welfare and dedication of the Leiby Kletzky Children's Room. With great admiration, the Chabad Jewish Center, Cape Coral, Rabbi Yossi and Rifki Lapkowski, June 3rd, 2012.
I'm greatly appreciative of this. I'm very, very impressed with the Chabad Center, with the Rabbi and Rebbetzin and everyone here, and it's an honor for me to be here. So I thank you very much.
The Jewish nation is blessed by being able to retrace our heritage, an unbroken chain back to the patriarchs and matriarchs. Today we are honored on having my parents here and Rifki's father with us. Our parents are our mentors and continuous support in our life, in our life's mission. They are the ones who just a phone call away, day or night. It is my honor to call upon my father-in-law to share a few words.
Three years ago, I had the honor and privilege to participate in a similar event in the other side of the world, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where Rivki's younger sister and her husband Mendy dedicated their new Chabad house. And as I did then, I want to do here today. We heard before from Rabbi Yossi that all this happened with the Rebbe's blessings, with the Rebbe's vision, with the Rebbe's encouragement, and all of your input. We heard before Rabbi Yossi saying that, as our sages tell us, that as soon as we will all be together in Jerusalem, the ultimate redemption and the peace in the entire world, this center, together with all the Jewish centers worldwide, will all be connected to the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. In 1988, the Rebbe proclaimed then Shnat HaBinyan, the year of building, construction. And the Rebbe said he wants to see more and more houses of prayer, houses of worship, houses of good deeds, educational institutions, institutions of charity. And this was the year that he called it the year of building, the year of construction. At that time in Montreal, which by the way, the weather is a little more comfortable. Thank you for welcoming us in this warm weather. The last day of the year, we Montreal launched a project which was a new center called Eskal Chabad. Since this was Erev Rosh Hashanah, the day before Rosh Hashanah, the end of that year, and when Rabbi Machkin presented to the Rebbe this plan of starting this new center, the Rebbe said, it's the last day of the year. I wanted to start today. And therefore, go take one of the stones of 770, which is the headquarters of all of Lubavitch. Take one of the stones over here, put it into the ground here, and then after Rosh Hashanah, you'll take it with you to Montreal, and you'll put it into the foundation of that center. So the Rebbe connected 770, his center, with the Chabad Center by us. Taken from this concept, I brought you a gift, an invaluable gift. I brought you a stone from 770. I didn't pay for it. The dean of the yeshiva is here. We'll settle it later, Rabbi Alkovsky. I figured with Rabbi Alkovsky being the dean of 770, somehow I'll get a better deal here. It is quite indicative of the concept of a stone. Stone represents eternity, in some sense. Stone also represents the lowest form of the four species: mineral, vegetation, animal, and human kingdom, humans. The task, as the Rebbe tells us, is to transform, to elevate, to imbue even a simple stone with a spirit of godliness, with a spirit of truth, with a spirit of goodness and kindness. And that's what the stone represents. So in this day, it's really for me a great honor to see our children, through their dedication, through their commitment, may I say, to their craziness, who did not allow themselves to be influenced by the naysayers. And rightfully, plenty of there were. Very few believed that Yossi and Rivki will pull this off. So they have proven once again, through unity, together, it's possible. And through unity, we will merit the ultimate blessing. And if I can take a little international vocabulary, coming from Montreal, and Florida has quite a huge contingency of French speaking. Whenever I go to any of the stores, I hear some French speaking. So anybody knows how we say yes in French? Fantastic. I know I'm going to have some French people here. Now, we know that we have obviously a number of Israelis here. How do we say yes in Hebrew? So together, yes, we can. Mazel tov.
We will now proceed with placing the mezuzah on the Leiby Kletzky Children's Room, and we are honored to have Mr. Lipsman, who will fix the mezuzah. Following that, you are all invited to tour the children's room.
Amen. Amen. Yep.
The children's room.
I have been so fortunate to be able to photograph all the Chabads in the community, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Edenita, and Naples. I've been also very fortunately involved in Reform and Conservative. I've totally rounded out my Jewish awareness of the world. And my gift is to be with all the Chabad on all their special events. This is my second dedication. I met Rabbi, I think, 5 or 6 years ago. And I've been with him ever since, almost every event that I can be there. Thank you all for coming. It's a beautiful place, and thank you for having me.
Well, we invite the children in the children's room to do some arts and crafts and to make their own mezuzah. If they can put it on their house, on their room, and invite everybody for some refreshments. Thanks.
Cape Coral Shul, the Cape Coral Jewish community, is our center of Jewish life here. We're ever so grateful for the time, the effort, and the love that you put into your flock. And we're ever so pleased that we can be considered as one of your congregants. Thank you again for all, and please, we just want to wish you, Naomi and I want to wish you many, many more years of Hatzlacha, just great success in everything that you do.
Today was a very special day. I'm honored that I was asked to come down.
Rabbi and Rivki have worked very hard to get to this moment and this auspicious time. I have so much thanks and gratitude towards him. I just hope we have many years of success here.
Chabad.